Hello, fellow cosplayers, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to the next episode of Scary Stories and Makeup with Aunty Winter, where I talk about anything that is spooky and scary while I turn myself into a creepy creature or do some creepy makeup. And, well, in today's video, I'm going to be diving into a very classic urban legend, and that is today we are going to be talking about black-eyed children. Okay, so to start off this video, we got the mirror from Snow White here, just because guess it's staying with us and it's not going away. So for those of you guys who don't know, black-eyed children are these entities that have been terrorizing people since the 90s, and they are described as these kids usually between the ages of 14 and 8, and they are normally described as children with, well, black eyes, and they are said to visit people in their homes or in their day-to-day life. When you do encounter black-eyed children, they're said that if you don't let them in or you don't listen to them, they're gonna start throwing some hissy fits and temper tantrums until you let them in. So you're basically gonna be dealing with little brats screaming at your door in the middle of the night. And I do not think anyone wants to deal with that, because some people have to get up for work and school, so it does kind of sound like these creatures have really no respect for people's life. However, it is said if you do let them in, you will experience some very bad luck. And you will also feel a strong sense of unease and kind of like a very strong sense of negative energy in your home. So let's get into the stories and encounters with these black-eyed children. So the first encounter happened in the 90s. Writer and reporter Bren Bethel encountered two black-eyed children out front of a movie theater in Texas. He described them as two young boys that looked as if they were the ages between 8 and 14, and they asked them if they can have a drive back to their house so that they can pick up money that they forgot to pay for the movie. Now, he then had a very sudden sense of discomfort and then noticed that the two boys had black eyes. And so then he said no. The black eye kids then persisted and said,
"We can only come into your car unless you invite us."
And then they start throwing a huge tantrum, and he was like, "Nope, I ain't going to see that movie, I'm going home." And then he just drove away. And then over the years after that, more and more people have had similar experiences with these black-eyed children. This next story takes place in Vermont, when a woman encountered two black-eyed children on a dark and stormy night. The woman claimed in her story her and her husband waking up around 2 a.m. in the morning on, again, a dark and stormy night to a knocking sound at their door. When they opened the door, they saw two young children, a boy and a girl this time. So she basically asks them, "What do you want? It's so late." And then they're like,
"Our parents are gonna come and pick us up here."
So then she lets them in, goes to make them some hot chocolate, and when she comes back, she notices some stuff that is rather odd. First of all, one of her cats starts growling, and her husband had his face in his hands. And she asked him, "Babe, what is wrong?" And he was like,
"My nose is bleeding and I feel dizzy."
And then it was only then when the kids ended up lifting their heads and she saw their eyes. There is a spider on my wall. Enjoy your last minutes on Earth, because once I'm done this video, I am going to come for you. Whatever. It was only then was when she noticed these kids' eyes, and that were very solid and black eyes. Just as she noticed them, the power went off, and she went to go get her husband a tissue. When she came back, seeing the kids from like a small little light, and they told her,
"Our parents are here."
And they left with two men in black suits. A couple days go by, and you would think that everything went back to normal at this point. Well, it didn't. One of her 4 cats went missing, and another one, when she got home, found one of her cats dead. And to make matters worse, when her husband's nose didn't stop bleeding, and so when he went to the doctor about it, the doctor told him, "One thing I hate is when I get black spots on the makeup." And so then when he went to the doctor diagnosed him with skin cancer. That apparently you got infected by tanning beds, which she never uses. So that makes this case very, very strange, if I do say so myself. As well as that, she also said to have felt very sick after this encounter. Other than those topics, she has also said to have other stuff that she can't really say in the story, which sounds very, very suspicious. Very, very suspicious. Now let's get into the theories about the black-eyed children. So to start off with the more scientific stuff, which if you guys saw my video about the shadow people, you would know that we start out with the kind of the boring stuff, and then we move into the more supernatural stuff. A more scientific reason on what the shadow people are that they are just some kids that are going around pranking people by wearing contact lenses. While that theory is, honestly is quite logical, it doesn't necessarily make so much sense. This makeup look is honestly not the best, to be honest with you, because I was going for a creepy eye kind of makeup look, but this, not really the best. For those of you who want to try this out, I'd recommend sketching out the eyes first and then filling them in, and that's it. But, yeah. Because why would multiple, things come up? Because the only way that a prank like this would be used more than once is that if it became a trend. And I do know that back then, when it first started, TikTok and, social media and that stuff was not really much of a thing. I don't again, I can't really say because I did not live in the 90s, but I'm pretty sure TikTok and stuff did not exist back then. So the second theory is that black-eyed children are part of government experiments that are being mind controlled. Does really make sense because obviously from the encounters that I found was that these creatures did sound very brainwashed and they were under some kind of trance or scientific experiment. The second theory of black-eyed children is that they are demons or possessed by demons, which does make sense because when people encounter black-eyed children, obviously they do sense a sense of dread. They do have a sense of dread, as well as unease, as well as tend to have bad luck things happen if they let the black-eyed children's into their home, which can be aligned with demons. If you guys don't know, demons are said to feed off of negative energy or potentially cause negative energy into someone's life. Another theory is that they're ghosts of dead children who are stuck on Earth, which does make sense because there are some encounters where they are wearing older clothing. So maybe black-eyed children are ghosts. And the last and the most popular one is that black-eyed children are vampires. And this one honestly makes the most sense because obviously they have a very haunting look to their appearance, and they are also said to only come into someone's house unless you invite them in, which is a lot like a vampire because a vampire only comes into your house unless you invite it in. So yeah, this theory does really make a lot more sense. This theory actually does make the most sense, and that black-eyed children are miniature vampires. And also, they are also beings that said to come only at night. So yes, I do generally think that black-eyed children could most likely be vampires. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like this video if I scared you shitless. Comment below if you encountered black-eyed children, as well as that, comment below any tutorial ideas you would like to see from me, because like honestly I really need some help because I am like adjusting to all this stuff, so I need some ideas for looks to do in this video, so please, I'm begging you, help me. If you want to recreate any of the looks that I do in my videos, except for this one, I'd highly 100% chance not recommend you try this look out, or maybe try it and do a bit better job than I did on this one. But, yeah, and if you want to submit any story, any ghost stories, be them true or not, or just any creepy stuff you'd like me to talk about, be sure to submit them on scary stories at scarystorieswithwinter@gmail.com. And that is pretty much it, and I am gonna go and sleep because I gotta get up really early in the morning to get my shit together. Yeah, so until next time, bye!